So in the US with Donald Trump, and the indictment against him is there. You can see on your screen. This document tells a story of him taking documents from his time in office back to Mar-a-Lago, where he lives, and storing them there. And let's take a look at some of the pictures. There we go. So that's some of the documents being stored in a bathroom. That is a ballroom there. Boxes and boxes of documents. What is in them? Well, documents potentially classified, and the indictment talks about him taking them from the White House, showing them to people, talking about them, and potentially concealing them from investigators. There are 37 counts. Most of them, 31 of them, for the willful retention of national defence information. Also others about conspiracy to obstruct justice. Now, I just want to give you a heads up. We do have our political experts standing by to give their analysis, but these pictures here is the Department of Justice, and we are expecting them to give a press conference and speak to us for the first time about these charges. So we're going to carry on looking through the document and the indictment, but just so you know, we may cut back to these pictures at any moment if and when we get a sense that someone is going to come out and talk about them. Now, though, let's go to our correspondent, Gary O'Donoghue, who is in Washington. Gary, just talk us through what we've learned.
Well, after months of this investigation, really, we've discovered now, of course, that Donald Trump is facing a whole bunch of criminal charges in relating to the retention of these nuclear and other documents, top secret documents. We know that some of them relate to the Espionage Act. We know that some of them relate to obstruction of justice. And just to give you a flavour of some of those documents that they believe were willfully held by Donald Trump, they talked about the United States nuclear programs. They talked about potential vulnerabilities for the United States and its allies to military attack. They talked about plans for possible retaliation in response to foreign attacks. And of course, throughout this, you'll remember that Donald Trump has said that effectively just having these documents, just thinking about it, he had the power to declassify things almost by thinking about it. He once said, I can declassify things. Well, they have now cited 2 occasions in 2021 where he showed or seemed to show classified material to people who shouldn't be looking at it, and appeared to understand himself that he shouldn't have that document. There's one meeting, Lewis, in July 2021. Let me just, here we go. We're going to
your 2-minute warning.
Oh, there's a 2-minute warning we're getting on the special counsel. So that'll be coming out very shortly. But let me just go back to this question of this moment where Donald Trump was waving one of these documents around. It was some sort of potential plan for an attack on another country. And he says, and they quote this in the indictment, they says, "See, as president, I could have declassified it," said Trump.
And I'm just going to jump in because it may have been a couple of minute warning, but we're going to listen in now just in case.
And then he'll exit off of this side of the stage and through the door. Please, if you have cell phones, please silence them. Any questions?
Okay, Gary, I'm sorry to interrupt you there. We just wanted to double check that nothing was coming beforehand. But yeah, that was just procedural instructions.
Yes.
Yeah, do carry on.
Yeah, so Donald Trump's talking to his aides saying, "See, as president, I could have declassified it." And the staffer says, "Yeah," laughs. Trump says, "Now I can't, you know, but this is still a secret." In other words, all this stuff that Donald Trump was saying about his ability to declassify things by just thinking about it, he knew this material, according to the indictment, was classified and he shouldn't be showing it around. So that tape is going to be crucial as part of this evidence. They've given an instance of another occasion later in the year where allegedly he showed a top secret map to a member of his political action committee. And also the indictment details huge sections of toing and froing with these scores of boxes, some being moved out of this room into the ballroom, out of the ballroom into a storage room, into a shower room at one point. One of the boxes seems to spill open and some secret documents are laying on the floor that are meant to be only seen. Here he is, Jack Smith.
Good afternoon. Today, an indictment was unsealed, charging Donald J. Trump with felony violations of our national security laws, as well as participating in a conspiracy to obstruct justice. This indictment was voted by a grand jury of citizens in the Southern District of Florida, and I invite everyone to read it in full to understand the scope and the gravity of the crimes charged. The men and women of the United States intelligence community and our armed forces dedicate their lives to protecting our nation and its people. Our laws that protect national defense information are critical to the safety and security of the United States, and they must be enforced. Violations of those laws put our country at risk. Adherence to the rule of law is a bedrock principle of the Department of Justice, and our nation's commitment to the rule of law sets an example for the world. We have one set of laws in this country, and they apply to everyone. Applying those laws, collecting facts, that's what determines the outcome of an investigation. Nothing more and nothing less. The prosecutors in my office are among the most talented and experienced in the Department of Justice. They have investigated this case hewing to the highest ethical standards, and they will continue to do so as this case proceeds.